what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Heavy J. Welcome back to the Contemporary Comrades podcast, and we got more bullshit for you, like always. And by when I say bullshit, I don't mean our content. I mean the stuff we're covering, right? So this time, Facebook is going to block all Australian news content globally on their platform. Yes, I'm not lying. No, this is not a page out of 1984, but in reality, it is, right? So that, without further ado, let's just get into the video and we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards.
Facebook has taken the stunning step of banning Australian users and publishers from viewing or sharing news articles on its website. Let's go to our
Just I'm gonna rewind that. Just listen to that statement one more time. Just listen to just listen to how that sounds.
The stunning step of banning Australian users and publishers from viewing or sharing news articles on its website. Let's go to our political reporter.
I mean, it's a profound recount of events, if you will. Whatever you want to call it.
Eliza Redwood's live in Canberra for the latest details. Eliza, good morning. This marks a dramatic escalation in tensions over the government's media bargaining laws.
It sure does, Pete. The government is trying to force tech giants to pay Australian media outlets for using their news content to try to sustain the future of journalism. But since these world-first laws were proposed, there has been a hostile reception from both Google and...
Oh, so that's what it is. Australia is trying to get a little bit of they're trying to strong arm a little bit, saying, hey, give us money for using our shit. And Facebook's saying, oh, instead of doing that, we'll just block all your shit from our platform. Interesting.
And Facebook. That's been taken to the extreme today, with Facebook moving to ban Australian users and publishers from viewing or sharing any news articles on the social media platform.
That is so nuts, man. They're banning every single person from Australia from viewing news on Facebook. Now, granted, look, you shouldn't be using Facebook for news anyway. Let's be honest here, right? Like, if you really want real news, you shouldn't be on fucking Facebook trying to get news. But even sharing the articles and sharing the news sources and things like that, that's where this is fucked up at. Because you should not be going to Facebook for your news, but you should be able to share important news on Facebook. You feel what I'm saying?
The social media giant says it failed to find a solution with the Australian government because the law fundamentally misunderstands the relationship between the platform and news publishers. In a statement, Facebook Australia says it has left us facing the stark choice. With a heavy heart, we're choosing latter.
Hey, Facebook, hey.
Attempt to comply with a law that ignores the realities of this relationship, or stop allowing news content on our services in Australia. With a heavy heart, we are choosing the latter.
Damn.
Pete, we know many Australians use Facebook to access their news content, so this will have a tangible impact, and it's happened almost immediately. News sites on Facebook have already been wiped of their content.
Shit, bruh. That's crazy. Just gone. All their shit on there gone.
Some users. Pete.
Wow, incredible news this morning. Very interesting to see how that progresses throughout the course of the morning. And meanwhile, Eliza, Google has taken a very different road in response to these laws, striking a series of agreements with media companies, including our own.
Yeah, that's right, Pete. This news in today as well. Initially, we did see a hostile reaction from Google, but that all changed this.
News Corp and Google strike a deal. Oh, you don't say. You don't say. News Corp and Google. Now, I'm a little rusty on my corporate media overlord hierarchy chart, but News Corp is one of the big six media giants, right? And if I'm not mistaken, I think they own CNN. So let me just let me look that up real quick. Because I want to now again I'm a little bit rusty on that shit. Let's see here. Yeah, Wall Street Journal, New York Post, Market Watch, etc. You know, News Corp is Rupert Murdoch. You know, that's Rupert Murdoch's baby. Yeah, man. Looks like yeah, 21st Century Fox, Wall Street Journal, New York Post, things like that. I'm pretty sure they owned CNN as well, but I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong about that. 27 local Fox TV stations. Yeah, they've got a reach, man, for sure. Yeah, the Dow Jones local media. Crazy, man. The Telegraph in Australia. They own the Sun, the Times, the Sunday Times in Europe. Yeah, man. Wall Street Journal Europe, of course. You know, big time deal here. So we're dealing with a big media deal right here. What they're going to talk about.
Week as they started to strike major commercial deals with media companies, the latest of which is signed with News Corp. It's been announced by the chief executive, Robert Thomson, this morning. He announced this historic 3-year agreement with Google for displaying content around the world on the Google News Showcase function.
Wow.
In a statement, he says, we have firmly established there should be a premium for premium news content. So some positive news in this deal, but some rather...
Wow. The news conglomerates are getting even smaller. So news giants are teaming up with tech giants now to display news on their platforms for a price. But I thought that we weren't going to own anything. So how do we view this in the great reset? Well, I guess we'll have to find out.
Dramatic escalation in terms of the Facebook news page.
Wow. Interesting stuff, man. Look. Man, Facebook, they're at it again, man. They're on their censorship tirade. And again, this is all for your reaction. This is all to see what you say and do about it. And I have a theory on Australia. They've had a lot of bullshit come their way. Right? They're a westernized country similar to America. Right? What is the one thing that Australians don't have that Americans do have? Guns. Right? I think it's a pseudo litmus test. This is just my little tinfoil hat moment here. I see this as sort of a pseudo litmus test to see how much a population will take. Like I think all of this is just trying to see how much a certain population will take and to see how they react. Because again, they probably already know how they're going to react, but I think they want to see just how sheep everybody is, just how dumbed down and just how complacent everybody around the world has gotten. And they do it in certain countries you see get more shit than others, right? From governments and from, like these sorts of things happen. Now imagine if this were to happen in America. Now just imagine that. But again, this does affect Americans because a lot of Americans go to Australian news to hear about American news. Because again, they're kind of similar here. So, this again sets a nasty, dangerous precedent for the future of freedom of speech, for the future of media, for the future of news, really, or what's perceived as news, right? On these big giant media platforms, these people, these media giants are I guarantee you, they will be our new government, right? They will be advised by actual governments, but they will be doing the governing. They will be putting that structure in place on their big platforms. So it's only a matter of time before YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, etc. All their platforms are now. This already we're kind of leaning towards this way, and but it's going to be it's going to come a point in time where it will be total lockstep. It will be total. All right. It's either this or that. There's no gray area where you can kind of say what you might think you want to say. You know what I'm saying? No, it's like, no, it's going to be at the point where they're already controlling our thoughts. So therefore they will then control what's seen even more so than they already do, but it'll be openly directed by government, whereas instead of it being now, which is like pseudo directed by government. Or you could look at them as rogue entities and kind of just acting on their own accord. Like Mark Zuckerberg says, he doesn't like something, so he's going to ban it on his platform, whatever, based on his personal beliefs. Is that freedom of speech? No. Now, granted, they're touted as his personal beliefs, but are they really? Just some random shit for you to think about, man. Just some random shit to think about. And with that, man, I don't really have anything else to say on this shit, man. Like and subscribe. Check out for more shit. We got a lot more shit coming. And it's Contemporary Comrades. It's your boy Heavy J. One half of the dynamic duo themselves. And I'm out. Peace.